the Zoom chat out as well as that, because it's basically you got the inbound and outbound chat.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that
Plus,
could be
video
like
also
the
makes it a little bit. Video might be the thing too, because it's a lot more bandwidth.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna see.
It's like right now, your video is like not even moving; it's choppy.
yeah, it's like frozen.
I'm frozen. Oh, that's no good. Well, the dream is over. uh, it says we're live now back on YouTube, but
There you go.
I don't know how good it looks. I don't know if anyone's even still watching this on YouTube,
You
but
can always edit.
well, not when you're going live.
Videos freeze. Oh boy.
But we will. You know what? Regardless of what happens, I'll put this video up.
I
Just
stopped my video to see if that helps at all.
what was that? I'm sorry, Len. I missed you. What did you say?
No, I was saying I stopped my video to see if it helps at all on your side.
Okay. Well, I mean, it keeps saying that it's dropping frames, but it says that we're live. But I don't see anyone in the chat room, so let's see.
Yeah, it says the internet connection's unstable on your end. It looks like is what it's coming up as.
Well, it says we Graham watching the show says we sound good, so we'll just keep talking. We'll see how it goes. Of course, this is guys. I apologize in advance. This is the first time we've tried to do such a great a great show with trying to include as many of you as we can on the podcast. On the live stream, but of course we're running into a few technical snafus, and maybe we're a little bit more ambitious than we should have been. Next time, maybe we'll just record the group chat and we'll stick to doing the live stream as two separate things. But I did want to say that I think tonight is a good opportunity for the NWA, like New Japan, All Japan Stan was saying, to showcase the NWA title in a way that fans of NWA Power haven't seen before. People who are tuning into NWA Power weekly for the last 6 months only got to see the NWA title presented in that arena, or not arena, but the studios, or in Charlotte as part of the Crockett Cup series, or the few pay-per-views that the NWA did, but they never really got to see it as a big environment as it was in China that night. And I also think that with the NWA, we're all going through a growing pains right now with the pandemic, and it's changing the way that business is done on almost every aspect of life, whether it be pro wrestling or any kind of pro sport. So it'll be interesting to see what the NWA becomes, or how it changes through the course of this nation dealing with the pandemic, the COVID-19. But I think what we'll see in the future, and I think what the plan was for the NWA, is to do more of these smaller arena shows. The Crockett Cup was at the Gateway Center. That wasn't a small venue by any stretch. That was a much larger venue, much like when they ran the Asylum for the 70th anniversary show, or the Crockett Cup where they ran in 2019 in Charlotte, the Carbos Arena, I think that's what it's called. They're certainly being more ambitious, and getting out of that studio environment, I think, is positive for the NWA, because although it makes for good television to have that fan interaction, it also makes the NWA seem much broader and bigger when it's in a larger venue. Stan, what do you think about? You've been to most of these shows. What do you think the difference is between being in the larger arenas or being in the Georgia Broadcasting Studios?
The smaller venues feel a little bit more intimate, a little bit more personal. Larger crowds, it just feel like I'm just another person in the seat. I can get a better reaction from the talent, whether it's cheering or booing, in a small setting. I don't know. It feels like I'm important in a smaller venue.
So, do you prefer being in the smaller venue then?
Yes.
In Lamb,
Yeah.
you've only been able to watch, from across the ocean in Germany. What are your thoughts on the bigger venues versus the more intimate venue?
Um, Sorry, I didn't listen too much of a live stream right now because your internet was buggy a little bit. The question is, small venue or bigger venue?
Yeah. So in with the NWA, it seems like the
Okay,
path
now
that
it's
they were
buggy
on
again.
were to do their pay-per-views in these larger arenas as opposed to the smaller, intimate venue of the Georgia Public Broadcasting Studio. As a fan who watches both, what do you prefer? What makes you happier as a viewer? Well, I think we lost Lamb, so
Uh-oh.
I'll pose the same question
Lamb,
to you, Len. What did you think? I mean, you were there with me in Charlotte to see the Crockett Cup. What did you think versus the larger arena versus the smaller venue? What did you find more appealing as a fan?
I find the smaller arena is a lot more appealing with the venues because it's more of an intimate feeling. With the larger ones, it's still excitement from the crowd and everything such as that. But I think when you have the smaller venues, it just gives it a lot more excitement and a lot more energy that you get to see. Plus, you feel a lot closer with what's going on around you because these large events are very breathtaking and enjoyable to be at. But sometimes the smaller ones just make it just as great.
So, would it be in your opinion that the NWA should try to find a balance between continually running in the Georgia Public Broadcasting Studio, the NWA Arena, and continue to explore options with the smaller arena shows?
Well, most definitely. I think they could do super shows where they'd have a larger venue, such as things like, let's say, like a basketball arena for like NBA teams and things such as that. They can do a lot of the smaller arenas for basically either just like the studio shows or even just some type of live house show event, so to speak. That way you can get a lot more fan interaction and have a lot more closeness. Because the biggest thing is if the fan feels a part of the show, they are more than likely going to be a reoccurring attendee for each of these shows and things such as that. When you have the larger venues and make it such as a super show, you'll get the not so casual fan coming into it, which might also spark more interest in people coming back for a reoccurring show when the smaller ones come around too.
I always kind of go back to the a couple of generations ago NWA. I'm talking about the Bob Trobich era where Dave Marquez had a lot of flexibility to run in the larger arenas. I mean, he kicked off his arena tour by starting off at the Orleans Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, the same place that Ring of Honor has ran a couple of times, and then progressed throughout the Southwest, whether it was in Hidalgo, Texas, or Houston, or Phoenix, Arizona, or Kissimmee, Florida. He was running in these smaller sized venues with some pretty well established talent, all the while they were still shooting their show, time the NWA Pro Wrestling Showcase, um, essentially in what would amounted to a small little building in Santa Monica.